we are recording. This is Barry McDonnell, your mayor, and I'm with Connie Urquhart, who is our Camas librarian, or library director, sorry, has been the director for the last 4 years, has worked in the library business for the last 18 years, has her master's in library info and science, and has also written her own book, Risky Business, which is in the library. Thank you, Connie. How are you doing?
I'm doing as well as can be expected. So, nothing to complain about under those circumstances. My family is all healthy, so I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm healthy as well. The family's doing well. We're just waiting it through. So this virus has changed a lot of different things, and we've all had to operate a little differently. Can you talk about, I guess, the library and how it affected the library and how you guys have been operating a little bit differently?
Sure. We've been following this for some time now, and we knew we would have to change up how we were doing things just because we have so many families that come in, so many different people. And a few weeks back, we started quarantining our books and making them, when people would return them, they would sit in quarantine for 2 days. And at the time, we really didn't have any information on how long the virus sat on materials, but we just made our best educated guess. And we also canceled all of our programs through the end of March and canceled all of our room reservations in our meeting rooms. And that was the game plan a few weeks ago. And then as of last Monday, we decided to close as that was the best course of action at the time, given Governor Inslee's proclamation of 50 people or more. And we knew with the library being so busy, we just couldn't accommodate that. But of course, things change every day.
Things change every day. One of the things that I think has been great, which what the team has been doing, is to reaching out to other jurisdictions and their peers in other areas to understand what they're doing and trying to get some ideas. That's something that you guys have been doing as well. And I know you did the curbside pickup. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So librarians are great for reaching out to each other and seeing what wonderful ideas we all have so that we don't recreate the wheel. And one of our fellow libraries had the fabulous idea of doing curbside service, which basically means even though our libraries are closed, we can still provide service to our community. So we allowed people to continue to put items on hold, and then we would fill them. They could call and let us know when they were ready to pick them up. We'd put them in a bag and put their name on it, and then we put them out on our in our front of the library in our cute little purple outreach booth so that they were easy to recognize and people could pick them up. So we did that all last week, and by the end of the week, the amount of holds that were picked up compared to the same week a year ago was up over 1,000%.
Wow. That's awesome. I mean, I think that's, again, when you think of Governor Inslee's been talking about how we have to think about things differently and approach things differently. And when I heard what you were doing, it just sounded so great. It was such a unique way of looking at it, but still providing a service and an important service, I think, while people are cooped up, getting books and being able to access that while still maintaining the social distances and ensuring that we're not spreading any virus was great.
Thank you. Well, it's our mission to serve the community, and we try to do it in any way that we can, despite what gets thrown our way.
We appreciate it, and lots does get thrown your way in many different ways. Last Saturday, I threw something your way. So again, we look at having all our staff and making sure that we're trying to maximize our time best that we can and utilize our staff the best we can to serve the community. I reached out to you last Saturday, and I guess my concern was that we have a lot of individuals in the community that don't have access maybe to the internet, that are not savvy on the computers, that may be more susceptible to it. Maybe in the older generation, they're not as comfortable getting that information. And the idea was that if we could get a number out and get a mailer into the mail where someone could call this number and we'd be able to connect them up with someone that could help them out. And I wanted to know if it was possible to get a number, then that we could, if someone called, and it would forward to the different staff that we have, maybe starting with the staff at the library, where they could respond. They'd have a bit of a script and be able to then maybe match them up with some services. And that was kind of it. I kind of left it at that point. I said, I know how to make a flyer because I just made one that we sent out for the campaign. We knew how to put together one very quickly. Very complicated though, how to actually make it work. So I talked to you last Saturday, and then I got a few texts from you Sunday, and then Monday, pretty much had figured it out. And it's been fun to watch it evolve as you've run with it and taken with it. At this point, we do have the mailers printed, and they are actually in the mail. Some people may have already received those.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about the program that you are now kind of running with the library, and then other departments as well, as we're finding people that may be able to kind of assist?
Yeah. So I don't work alone. I have a fabulous team that works with me. And the first thing I did was call up my technology and collections manager, Danielle Reynolds, and said, here's what the mayor wants. What can we do? And so the two of us, as librarians, went to researching, and we found a great online cloud-based phone service that basically allows for my staff to be a call center from the comfort of their home. So they're safe, they're healthy, and they're receiving calls from home for anyone who feels like they might need grocery pickup, their meds picked up from the pharmacy, or maybe just a buddy to talk to because they've been in isolation for so long, and they are going a little bit crazy. So we are there to receive those calls, and then to match them with volunteers who are willing to make those runs to the grocery store and make those runs to the pharmacy and be that person to talk to. So it's really twofold. It's to receive the calls for the people who need those services, and also to receive the calls for the people who want to volunteer. And that number is 360-382-1300, 1300.
This, if I had the technology right now, we'd have it flashing up on the screen, but we probably we'll have it underneath. That's the technology we got so far.
Yeah.
So it's facilitating, and I think when you talk about it as well, I mean, there's so many different resources that are out there that are online now. You talked about different social media sites that are trying to connect people, and Facebook has different groups, and there's people that put stuff out there, and your team can kind of navigate this as well, so that we can almost just be the facilitator of, if there's someone that does need some support or kind of help, you guys can kind of find that as well as having a database of people that said, hey, we want to support.
Right. And this is, Nextdoor is doing something very similar. It's called the Help Map, and it's awesome that Nextdoor is doing that. But like you said, not everybody is dialed into all of the social media platforms, and this is an opportunity for someone who just feels more comfortable picking up the phone and calling, and then we're that friendly voice on the other side to help them. And so we can be that facilitator to match the volunteer with the person who needs help, and then after that they're kind of on their own to figure out the details. But we're all about neighbors helping neighbors in this town. Camas is about community, and the library wants to help facilitate that. And I think the city and you as mayor wants to be the leading force for that. And I applaud your efforts in getting us on the right foot for that.
Well, I mean, again, it's I just have certain ideas, and you're able to pull together some impressive results. And again, we're testing it out. We'll see how it works, but I think it is something that it is, we need to ensure that we're looking after each other. I think that is a very important part of it. And again, I think that we are a unique community in Camas, and this is the time that we do have to pull together to support each other. And again, when I first started and we first started talking, we talked about, how important libraries are. And when it comes to the community, that's the place where the community comes together. It's a meeting place. It's a place of learning, of education. And it's so impressive to see kind of transition now from a place and location to still serving that community, or still, outreaching to the community and still helping connect the community in a time when we can't physically come together. So again, I can't thank you enough for just stepping up to the challenges. All the department heads have all stepped up, and again, we'll be able to utilize some of their people as well that we can, depending on how many calls we get. But I feel very confident that we're starting to connect people, and we'll see how it goes. Anything else that you'd like to touch on, or any other updates that you have?
I would just say, if you're interested in volunteering, you can definitely call the phone number. There's also a way to do that online. If you want to just go to the City of Camas website, you can do that online as well. And thank you for recognizing that libraries are that community hub. And I'd like to recognize my staff for stepping up and taking these calls during this time, because it's just what libraries do, and I am so thankful for the staff that I have.
Well, I'm very thankful as well, as is the city, and I think everyone. It's you put together some really great events. It's a really great place where I know my kids have a lot of great memories that they have already, and will continue to have. So thank you, and until we'll maybe check in at some point, see how things are going. Maybe you can give us an update as far as what we're seeing out there. But again, thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Sounds great. Thanks.